So we're just talking about some colder weather, but
Yeah,
compared to that,
a little inconvenience for some, but yeah, it's kind of cool
It's
to
just
see.
early.
It is early, yeah. A lot of the stuff we're seeing with the cooler temperatures, with the snow on the mountains, it is coming about a month ahead of what's deemed normal for this time of year. It is going to be cool. I do want to say, though, in most of Western Washington, we're going to stay well above the freezing mark through this weekend, and the snow is going to stay well up into the mountains. We don't have to worry about any lowland stuff anytime soon. This is a live shot from our rooftop camera. The road's still a little wet from the rain that moved through earlier. 48 degrees right now. Temperatures will be dropping well into the 40s tonight. It will be chilly the next couple of mornings, and high temperatures are likely going to be staying in the 50s. Here's a look at radar right now. We're not seeing a whole lot of lightning, at least over the last couple of hours, but we still have some batches of heavier showers, including up towards the Sequim Bay area, some scattered activity over Grays Harbor and the southwest interior, but otherwise the chance for thunder is going to be diminishing over the next couple of hours. And what's happening is we have this unusually strong low pressure system which is spinning right on top of us. You can see this broad swirl. This is a strong low that's coming right out of the north, and it's pulling in some of the coldest temperatures we've seen so far this season. So later this weekend, Saturday into Sunday, that low is going to park itself over eastern Oregon, and we're going to have this broad cyclonic flow over us, strong easterly wind over the Cascades. And what that's going to do is provide the mountains with plenty of snow, with emphasis across eastern slopes of the Cascades. So the northeast mountains as well as eastern slopes of the North Cascades are under a winter storm warning through Sunday. 8 to 14 inches of snow, but the higher snowfall totals, say a foot or more, that's more reserved for elevations above 4,500 feet. So the North Cascades Highway, especially areas east of Rainy Pass, are going to be dealing with some heavy snowfall. The Enchantments, not a great weekend to be up in the Enchantments, especially the core is probably going to get slammed with some snow. Blewett Pass is probably going to see some decent snowfall as well. In the meantime, the purple areas here, those are winter weather advisories. It's a little less snowfall, but still impressive. Through Sunday, 3 to 8 inches of snowfall. This includes Stevens Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, but the Snoqualmie Pass elevation, about 3,000 feet, probably just seeing a rain-snow mix. If you're traveling over I-90 over Snoqualmie Pass this weekend, your trip is probably going to be fine. Probably just looking at wet roads, but don't be surprised to see a couple of snowflakes. Stevens Pass, probably looking at some light snow accumulation. We might actually see some tire restrictions there before the weekend is through. All right, let's time out the rain with Futurecast. Notice the scattered showers will continue to be in the forecast through the overnight hours. As we head into tomorrow morning, just patchy areas of showers, but it's not going to be completely dry. And I do want to point out that areas up in the north interior, especially inland parts of Skagit County, likely going to be seeing some very windy conditions up there. So Bellingham, Blaine, Linden, you'll probably see some wind gusts approaching 40 miles per hour tomorrow. We'll see some scattered showers develop towards the afternoon, but by the time we head into Sunday, most of the wet weather is going to be over eastern Washington. And I think it's going to be a dry day on Sunday, but temperatures are going to be cool. Temperatures over the next 5 days, topping only in the mid to upper 50s both Saturday and Sunday, about 10 degrees cooler than average. And notice we're back up into the 60s by early next week. And to be honest, Monday, Tuesday, actually looks pretty nice. Despite the cooler temperatures, we are going to see plenty of sunshine. So here's your 7-day forecast. A few showers around on Saturday, and again, it is going to be blustery in some places, mostly cloudy but dry on Sunday, and then the sunshine returns Monday and Tuesday with more chances for rain late Wednesday into Thursday.